Hi, my name is Kate Kernmundy. I'm going to talk to you about Conté drawing today. Conté is a drawing tool developed during the Napoleonic era, and it is made from compressed clay. This box has black, white, sanguine, and a dark brown. This is an older box. It also includes some chalk that I threw in there with some white and some black. One thing you can do is go around to yard sales, maybe people whose grandparents may have been active artists are trying to get rid of art supplies. That's where I pick up a lot of these older art supplies. This is an excellent type of chalk that I combine with my Conte drawings. It comes in different shades of grays. You can purchase new chalk though now in other brands. I don't know if this brand still exists, but I enjoy using it. I really enjoy the type of mark making that you can use with Conte. You can draw with the stick to make edges. You can draw with the edge of the stick. I'm using a high quality paper here that really picks up the tooth, really picks up the chalk. So you can draw with the edge and making different marks. I like to do round shapes using the edge of the Conte to kind of find it. You can use it like a pen tool to create cross hatching. You can use the side of it to create big planes of color. It layers nicely with the other colors of Conte. I also like using the little short ones because you can make different types of marks. It becomes sort of a different tool. Overall, it's just got a great feel to it, and it's just a pleasure to draw with. It gives you a warm tone or a cool tone if you're using the black and the white. And again, you can work up a nice value based drawing without too many colors, without being overloaded with too many colors. You can create your value scale within the drawing and have some temperature also within the drawing. It's a great medium to work with. It's a great way to start a painting process. So I'm working on a 25-inch by 19-inch Hahnemuhl Ingres paper. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I usually start with the T square just to make some lines so that I don't make everything tippy. So that way I know where everything is going to be vertical or horizontal. Again, here are the materials: Conte crayons, and then gray chalk, which I'm going to show in a minute. There's the Conte crayons again up close, and the gray chalk. And you'll also need a kneaded eraser and plastic erasers just to remove any marks that you decide you don't want. You can use them a little bit for blending and getting rid of the dust. Kneaded erasers are great for de-stressing and erasing. Basically, this drawing took me an hour to do, but I break it down and I show it to you in about 12 minutes sped up. So here I'm just doing. I had gone down to where the boat is docked and took some photos, did some sketches, and so now I'm gonna work it up for doing a larger size painting. So I using the T-square, have laid in some marks so I can make it vertical. I'm not centering the boat in the middle of my drawing. It's a little bit to the one side, and that's intentional. I want it to be a little bit to one side. If it's too symmetrical, it can kind of be boring for the eye. Um, so here I am just sort of laying out and trying to figure out where is everything gonna go. And just making sure I have some indications. So there's the photo I'm working with, and I don't know why they always put these big like containers and big objects storage in front of the boat, and you never can see the bottom part. I always wish you could see the bottom. So just trying to get some of those shapes in, and then I just keep working away slowly, figuring out where things go for the bridge there, the smokestacks, the side of the ship. And then I'll be slowly building up the values. I'm working from sort of a middle value, working darker, and then I'll bring in the lights as I work along through the drawing. With everything essentially blocked in now, I'm gonna start laying in some tone just to kind of figure out what's going on here and start building that first layer of value and temperature. The hull of the boat is a very dark black, it's very cool. The smokestacks have a lot of rust on them, so they're more red. So gonna bring up some of those temperatures there. And I'm starting using cross hatching and the side of my Conté crayon to just start building up some of those darks. I'm using the darker brown here. I'm not quite ready for black yet. Here I'm bringing in the eraser again. I want to just get some of those marks that I used when I laid everything out to figure out where everything went, and I just want to get rid of them because they're now becoming distracting, and I don't want them to kind of get mixed up with some of the details I'm putting into the ship. I also want to put a tone here in the background. I'm trying to establish some sky behind the boat. I'm using a gray paper, but I can go a little darker in the gray in the sky because I want a big white cloud or lighter sky behind the boat. So it's balancing back and forth. You know, if I want this to be darker, I need to put something lighter next to it so the dark really pops. Or if I want the light to really pop, I need to put something dark next to it so you can really see that difference. Um, the paper itself becomes a value, it becomes a color within this drawing. And then I'm working just back and forth those warm, earthy tones and those nice, cool grays. My eraser's a little dirty, but what you can do with these plastic erasers is you can wipe them or rub them really hard on something that's like denim or canvas. This apron is heavy material and it just cleans it right off. When I was there on site, you could kinda see through the fence, and so you could see a little bit of the river behind and the other side of the river, and so I brought that in, whereas in the photo that I showed you, you can't really see it. But then again, there's these giant pallets of something, I'm not sure what it is, in front of the boat, and it's like, "Oh, I wish I could see that bottom half," but you can't get close enough because of the fencing and things like that. And on the other side, there's some sort of scaffolding, but I don't know what it's for. And then there was a water tower that was kind of outside of what would have been this range, but I brought it in because I liked it, which is again of those things you can do. You can just bring in things that you like as long as it makes sense. So again, I'm getting those darks. Now I've got some chalk in there, lightening things up. I'm putting some details in and then working into these boxes to bring in some light and some dark in there. Here I'm bringing some of that white chalk in, and laying a little bit of that into the background to give that cloud. I can also use it to kind of blend some of the areas in the distance that I want it to be softer looking. But that'll help make the smokestacks and that side of the boat really pop. The drawing is almost done, and I'd like to thank you for hanging out here with me while I work on this drawing. I did try and shorten it for you so you aren't here too long. And again, like and save the video if it's meaningful to you. Feel free to ask questions in the comments. I'll try and get back to you. Thank you very much. This tiny, tiny piece of chalk. I, I these things are like gold. I don't throw them away. So it's this tiny piece that I'm using to get that tone in there. All right, finished result here. Um, I think it looks pretty good. It looks similar to the boat. So the next step is I need to fix it with fixative. And so I use this Winsor Newton workable fixative, and I'll take it outside because it's an aerosol. It's kind of fumy, and I'll take it outside and spray it out there.